We will begin in child's pose. So go ahead and bring yourself onto your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Open your knees up nice and wide and begin to walk your hands out in front of you. If it's available to you, rest your forehead on the mat. If your forehead cannot reach the mat, then stack your hands under your forehead or maybe even your fists. Or if you happen to have a block at home, you can use that as well. Relax your shoulders down your back. Pull the belly in as you press the hips back a little further. Maybe extend the fingertips out just a little bit further. Now close your eyes and begin to breathe in and out through the nose. So slow, deep, rich, full breath. And with every inhale, notice how your body expands and lengthens. And with every exhale, notice how the body softens. So this nose breathing is our primary form of breath in our practice. If at any point during the class you start to notice that you're holding your breath or your breath is choppy, then you want to take that break. You can always come down to child's pose or flip over onto your back into Shavasana. Some of the most important parts of our yoga practice is knowing when our body needs a break. The other form of breath we do is that collective cleansing breath. We'll practice a few now. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Fill the lungs the whole way to the top and hold it. Open the mouth, sigh it out. You are trying to make an audible H-ha sound. Again, deep breath in through the nose. Filling the lungs, maybe the back will round. Open the mouth, sigh it out. One more time, deep breath in. Make this your deepest, richest breath today. Hold it at the top. Open the mouth, let it go. Gently press your lips back together and return to breathing in and out through the nose. Take your right hand and thread your right hand under your left arm. Coming down onto the right shoulder and right temple as you look under the left arm. Feel free to wrap the left arm around your back if you would like, reaching for the opposite hip crease. Breathe. Slowly return back to child's pose. Take the left hand and thread it under the right. Coming down on the left shoulder, left temple, you're looking under the right arm. If you wrapped on the other side, then the right hand will wrap around the back. Breathe. Return back to child's pose. Keeping the body parallel to the floor, start to walk both hands to the right side of your mat. Try to stack the left hand on top of the right if you can, and maybe tuck the chin into the right arm so your nose is under the arm. Feeling the stretch on the left side body. Coming back through center, we'll work our way to the left side of the mat. This time the right hand will stack onto the left and the chin will tuck under the left arm. Coming back to center. Take one more deep breath in. Sigh it out. And on your next inhale, rise up to tabletop position. The hands are directly under the shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Belly is tight, and we'll do a little cat and cow. On an inhale, the belly drops, the heart lifts, the hips tilt, the gaze goes up, cow pose. As you exhale, round the back, tuck the chin in and press the floor away for cat. Again, inhale, belly drops, heart lift, gaze up. Exhale, round the back, tuck the chin in and press the floor away. Really articulate through your spine. Take a few more here as you breathe. Inhales move you to cow. Exhales move you to cat. And you want to sort of exaggerate some of these movements to get really deep into those muscle structures. Let's do one more time. On your next inhale, make your way back to that tabletop position. Take your right fingertips clockwise, left fingertips counterclockwise. Try to bring the fingertips towards the knees. Palms are flat, shoulders over the wrists. The elbows are as straight as you can get them, not locked though. You should feel this up that wrist, and you're breathing. Return back to tabletop. And take the right hand, and this time flip it palm up. Fingertips towards the knee. Again, try to get the shoulder over the wrist. Try to straighten through the elbow and relax your fingers down. Breathe. And we'll switch sides. So the right hand goes back down, then the left hand flips over. Fingertips towards the knee. Shoulder over the wrist. Relax the fingers. And return. Belly in, back flat. Take an inhale and extend your right leg out behind you. Now keep the right hip square to the mat. Try not to stack the hips. Begin to rotate your ankle. Maybe the other direction. Feel free to stay here. Otherwise, ground the right hand and reach the left arm forward. Begin to rotate the wrist. Breathe. Take an inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Tabletop. Belly in. Inhale, that left leg will extend back. Again, rotate the hip down. Keep it square. Let's rotate that ankle. And reverse. If you moved on the other side, ground the left hand, reach the right hand forward, and rotate the wrist. Belly is nice and tight. Take an inhale, lift. And exhale, release. Belly in. Inhale, right leg back, left arm extends. Now you can stay here, reaching, lengthening, and extending, or sweep the arm back. Bend the knee if you can and reach for your toes. If you have your toes, kick into the hand. Gaze is up, heart is open, lift that chest. And then exhale, re-extend through the arm and leg, and return back to tabletop. Belly in, inhale, left leg back, right arm extend. Lift and lengthen, belly in, stay here, or sweep the hand back. Bend the knee, grab the toes. Kick into the hand if you have it. Lift the heart. Lift the chest. Gaze is up. And re-extend through the arm and leg. Tabletop. Tuck your chin to your chest. Curl your toes. And lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Now try to keep your hands shoulder width apart. So maybe you look at them for a moment. The palms are pressing. The fingers are spread and the index finger points forward. Your feet are hips width distance apart. So drop the head down, relax your shoulders so you can see those toes. Maybe slightly pigeon-toed if you can do that. Maybe you need to walk your feet and hands closer. Maybe you need to bend your knees. That's completely fine. Try to get your heels as close to the floor as possible. Try to lift your hips towards the ceiling. As you drop your chest towards your shins, hollow out your belly and hang your head. Now think about your triceps and pull them in. Don't let them flare out. Take a breath. And then as you exhale, begin to walk your feet towards your hands. And turn forward here. Your feet are going to be about hips width distance apart. Bend into the knees. Maybe just let the hands hang. Maybe you grab opposite elbows, and we're just going to sway side to side here. Nice bend in the knees. Make this about your low back versus your hamstrings. And if you are one of my bendy people, you can interlace those hands behind your low back if you would like. And then allow them to fall overhead to comfort. Opening up through the shoulders and the chest. Relax the head. And release the hands. Now the right fingertips are going to come to the mat directly under your nose. If your fingertips can't reach the mat, place them on the front of the right leg. On an inhale, extend the left arm up. The back is flat, the gaze is up. Pull the belly in. And we'll release, bringing the left fingertips down. Replace the right ones or on the front of that left leg. And then on an inhale, the right arm will extend. Back is flat, gaze is up, heart is open. And slowly release. Walk your big toes in the touch. Heels are slightly separated. Inhale, half lift. Hands to the shin or thighs. The back is flat. Try to get your shoulders in line with your hip. Think about pressing the chest forward. And then get the chin in neutral position so the neck is long. Crown of the head forward. Thighs are firm so you can lift your kneecaps a little. Belly in. This is your half lift position. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and fold into the legs. Inhale, half lift. Hands to the shin or thighs, not your knees. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Sweep the arms up sideways. The palms will press, the heart will lift a little. And then exhale, fold forward. Hinge at your hips. You can bend your knees if you like. Try to lead with your heart. Hug yourself in. Inhale, rise. Arms sweep up. Palms press, heart lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Next time we'll add on up here. Take a little back bend, lift that heart. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Fold. And rise. So interlace your fingers. Release your pointer finger and cross your thumbs. I call this Charlie Angel's hands. Try to get the biceps by the ears, shoulders down the back, belly is tight, and the big toes are touching. Take an inhale, you lift, and exhale, lengthen to the right. So this is a lateral stretch to the right. The left hip starts to poke out to the left a little. The shoulders are stacked, so try not to let the left shoulder rotate forward. Belly is in and up. The tailbone is nice and long. And you're breathing. Take an inhale, come up. Another inhale, you lift. Exhale, lengthen to the left. Belly tight. Think about your rib cage. Kind of pull those rib cage in. The tailbone is long. The shoulders are stacked. The right hip is reaching out to the right. The chin is off the chest. Deep stretch on that right side body for 3, 2, 1. Slowly rise. Bring your hands to your low back as if you're putting them in your back pockets. And then separate your feet about hips width distance. Take an inhale, lift the heart. Tailbone long. Gaze up, eyes open. Tailbone is nice and extended. The chest is lifted. 3, 2, 1. And then slowly forward fold. Let your feet be wide. Just hang here. Maybe you shake your hips out a moment. And then go ahead and bring those big toes to touch again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Doing a second set next time we get up here. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Fold. And rise. Leave the right fingertips up. Bring the left fingertips down by your side. So if you have a seam in your pant or your shorts, try to keep the fingertips right on that seam. Big toes are touching. Take an inhale, lift on the right, and we'll lean to the left. And as you do that, the left hand slides down the leg. It stays on the seam. Roll the right shoulder back. Press the right hip out like you're hip checking your neighbor. Chin is off the chest. Pull the rib cage in. Reach for the left. Fingertips towards the floor. 3, 2, 1. Let's come on up. Bring the left fingertips up. Right fingertips by your side. Again, those fingertips are going to run down that seam on the leg. Take an inhale, lift, and lengthen over to the right. Let the right fingertips slide towards the floor, but they stay on the seam. Left shoulder rolls back. Rib cage pulls in. Belly is tight. Hips are pressing to the left. Stack the shoulders. Tense stretch here. 3, 2, 1, and release. Now bring both hands up. Just press the palms and cross your thumbs. Toes are touching. Take an inhale, lift, and now this time keep your biceps by your ear as you press the chest towards the heavens. The gaze is up. Drop your shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1. Slowly rise and exhale, forward fold. Again, hang out here. Maybe wiggle the hips. Do whatever you like here. Sometimes those can be a little challenging on that low back. And if your feet came apart, please bring those big toes back to touch. And on an inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Fold. And rise. Bring your hands by your sides. Separate your feet about hips width distance. Now you can measure that by placing your 2 fists together and putting them between your big toes. And then stand back up. Try to make sure while you're looking at your feet that it looks like you're standing on railroad tracks. So the heels are directly behind your toes. Stand up nice and tall and find something in your room that's not moving that you can focus your attention on. On an inhale, the arms will extend straight out in front of you. All 5 fingers are touching and the palms are down. Bring your shoulders back and down. Pull that belly nice and tight. And then on an inhale, lift your heels as high as you can. Just find a little balance here. Try to press the tops of the feet towards your front of your room. Maybe one day you're balanced only on the ball of that foot. You're breathing. Three, 2, and 1. Bring the arms down for a moment. Bring those big toes to touch. Now bend your knees. Keep your heels on the floor. Bend your knees and bring your fingertips in line with your toes if you can. If you can't, that's fine. This is the target one day. The knees are touching. The thighs are firm and the belly is tight. Roll the shoulders down the back. And on an inhale, the arms are going to sweep up. Palms face each other. Shoulders down the back. Lift the chest. The gaze is forward. And then exhale, sweep your arms back. Palms to the floor this time. Shoulders press, drop them down, belly off your thigh. Inhale, the arms will sweep up. Lift the chest, gaze forward, maybe float the toes. Exhale, the arms sweep back. Shoulders press, gaze at the top of the mat. Now sink the hips a little and inhale, the arms sweep up. This time, press your palms. Cross your thumbs, maybe look at your hands. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale your hands to your sides. We're going to do a little bit of balancing work. So if you feel like you might need a chair or the wall for support, please use that. Make sure your support is on your left side. I will give you options so that if you don't have the wall, you can choose the option you can hold without needing support. Starting with your big toes touching, shoulders down the back. On an inhale, simply lift your right heel off of the mat, leaving the toes on the mat. This is option 1. Option 2, lift the foot and flex it. Option 3, lift the knee so it is in line with the hip, your choice. Belly is tight and you're breathing. Now you're trying to balance on that left leg. I want you to think stand tall on the left leg. No dumping. For 3, 2, and 1. Bring your big toes to touch. On an inhale, the left heel will lift up. We'll start again with that option 1, just simply lifting the heel and leaving the toe on the mat. If you did this and then you lifted the foot, flex it. If you went into the full expression, the best that you can, knee in line with the hip. Shoulders down the back. Extend on the right side. Try to stand up nice and tall. Try not to death grip the mat with your toes. Chin is off the chest, belly's in, shoulders down. For 3, 2, and 1. Release. Now separate your feet slightly. Place your hands at your low back. Take a little back bend. The hips sort of go forward. The gaze goes up. And rise. Bring your big toes to touch. Again, if you are using support, it needs to be on the left side. Your left hand is either on the wall or the chair or your hip if you are not using support. On an inhale, the right knee will lift. The right hand is going to come to the front of the shin or maybe even under the thigh. Bring the knee towards the shoulder and stand up tall. You're breathing here. The heart is lifted. You could stay here or maybe you take the right knee out to the right, tucking the right hip low down and under. Just kind of like you're opening your hip, like you're opening a door. Stand up tall for 3, 2, and 1. Come back and release. Big toes touch. If you are using a chair or the wall, you want to change sides. So this time that right hand will either be on the wall or the chair or your hip. On an inhale, the left knee will lift. Again, that left hand will come to the shin or under the thigh. Bring the knee towards the chest, flex the foot and stand tall. If you stayed here on this side, please do so on this one. Otherwise, the knee opens. Tuck that left hip under. As if you're opening your hip like a hinge. And you're breathing for 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Let's ring it out. Inhale, arms up, palms press, heart lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, your hands by your side. Now bring yourself to the back of your mat. Big toes are touching. You're standing up nice and tall. On an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, release the pointer finger, and cross your thumbs. Take a giant step forward with your right leg. And then shift your weight to your right leg, bringing your right hip over your right heel. And lift your left toes. Now you can stay here, or you can begin to lift the left leg. How high will depend on you. One day you might look like the capital letter T. Gaze is at the mat. You're flying over the mat, belly tight. 3, 2, 1. Slowly rise and step back. On an inhale, take a giant step forward on the left foot. Plant the left foot and shift your weight so that hip is over the left heel. Lift your right toes off the mat. Again, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, you start to lift your leg a little. Belly is tight. You're flying over the floor. Don't stack your hips. Rotate the right hip down for 3, 2, 1. Step back. Inhale, lift your heart for a back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands and come down to a tabletop position again. Belly nice and tight. And then bring your right foot to your right thumb. Right foot to right thumb. And begin to walk your right foot out in front of you. You're straightening through the right leg. As best that you can. You can keep the heel down and point the toe, or you can pop the heel up. It's up to you, whatever works. Drop your forehead towards your shin the best that you can. Feel the stretch up the back of the leg. This is our half split position. Breathe. Now begin to pull the right foot back just a little bit. Then plant the right foot and bend into the right knee. Try to get your right knee to be directly over your right heel. So you have a 90-degree angle there. Keep the fingertips on the mat and curl the left toes under. On an inhale, lift that left leg. So you're in a low runner's lunge here. You're extended through the left leg. Belly is tight. Right knee directly over the right heel. Take another inhale. Now, if this is too much for you, please feel free to drop the knee back down to the floor. You can do these exercises with the knee on the floor. Stay here, or maybe you start to bring your shoulders over the hips. Hands can come to the hips. Bend the knees and try to square yourself to the front, which means your hips are level. Feel free to stay here, otherwise inhale, the arms will come up overhead. Biceps by the ears, extend through the back leg, shoulders down, take that breath. As you exhale, sweep the arms back behind you. Airplane wings, shoulders press forward, you hinge forward. Gazing at the top of the mat, keep that front knee bent. Then one more time, inhale, the arms come up. Maybe lift the heart for a back bend. And then exhale the hands to the mat. Bring the left knee down. Shift your hips back. And then bring the right foot towards the left side of your mat. So the right foot wiggles its way between the left wrist and the left knee. You're basically making the number 4. So you want to bring the shin of the right leg to the mat as you extend the left leg out in front of you. You're nice and stacked here. So try not to let either hip touch the mat. You can stay here and just lift your heart. This is pigeon pose. Or you can drop to the forearms. If you want to go wild and crazy and drop your head the whole way to the mat, please feel free to do that. Breathe. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And then slowly come up. Whatever makes sense to you, work your way out of this position back into tabletop. Once you're in tabletop, the left foot will come to the left thumb. Start to walk that left leg out in front of you. Try to make that leg as straight as you can get. You can point the toes, you can pop up on the heel, and then drop your forehead towards your shin. Feel the stretch up the back of that leg for our half split position. Slide the foot back just a little bit, then plant that left foot, bend the left knee, and bring it directly over the heel. So make whatever adjustments you need to get that 90-degree angle in the left knee, but it's not passing your toes. It's directly over the left heel. Then curl the back toes and extend through that right leg. The fingertips are currently on the mat. You're lengthening the back leg, the belly is tight, and you're breathing. So again, if you had to drop your knee down or chose to drop your knee down for the other side, I want you to go back down to the knee because the exercises can be done here. Otherwise, when you're ready, we'll start to bring the shoulders over the hips and the hands on the hips. That helps us make those adjustments to get our hips square to the front of the room. Pull the belly tight, lengthen the back leg, bend into that front knee. Stay here or inhale, the arms sweep up. Palms face each other, chest is forward, heart is open, lengthen the back leg, and then exhale, the arms sweep back. Hinge forward, belly tight, shoulders press, fingers reach for the back wall, gaze at the mat, bend that knee a little more. Then inhale, the arms sweep up one more time. We'll lift the heart, take the back bend, and release the hands down. Come, let that back knee drop. Shift your hips back and work the left foot to the right side of the mat for that pigeon pose. So that left foot comes between the right wrist and right knee. Drop down onto the low part of the left leg as you extend the right leg out behind you. One day, that left leg should be parallel, or the shin of the left leg should be parallel to the top of the mat. Keep the hips stacked, lift the heart, or drop to the forearms, or go wild and crazy and lay yourself the whole way out on the mat. Hang your head and breathe. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. And slowly start to come up. Release the leg back. Let's take child's pose for just a moment. The hips press back, the hands extend forward. Relax the head, relax the shoulders. Slowly rise up and bring your legs to the front of you. Cross your legs. It doesn't really matter which leg is on top. We're going into easy sitting pose. Crisscross applesauce, some people call it, or you can do half lotus. Sitting up nice and tall, inhale, the arms come up. And then exhale, fold out over. Pull the belly tight. Tuck the chin in, relax the shoulders, breathe. Slowly come up and switch the leg that's in front or on top. So just switch the order of your legs. Sitting up nice and tall again. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, you fold. Belly in. Reach away from you. Hang the head. Slowly come up. And extend both legs out. Nice and long, so the toes are pointed to the ceiling. And you're sitting up nice and tall. Inhale the arms up. With a flat back, try to forward fold. Pull the belly in. Press the hips back. Reach past your toes if you can. Hang the head. Breathe. Rising up. Keep the right leg long. The left foot, you have a choice here. You can bring the left foot to the inside of the right leg, or you can cross the left foot on top of the right leg. Your choice, either will work. Take an inhale, the arms up, and exhale, fold out over. Belly in. Slowly come up. We'll switch out those legs. So extend that left leg long and then bring the sole of the right foot either anywhere on the inside of the left leg or cross it over. Now you do want to try to do the same thing on both sides if possible. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, fold. Belly tight. Reach. Breathe. Slowly rise. Bring the feet flat and come on to your back. Bringing your heels as close to your hips as you can get them. Hip width distance apart. Slightly pigeon-toed if you can. Arms are by your side, the palms are down. Ground your feet, firm your thighs, and on an inhale, lift your hips. You're pressing your pelvis towards the ceiling. Lift the chest. Now think about your feet. Keep them solid and grounded. Don't let them flare out. And keep the knees pointed forward. Firm the thighs. Get the chin off the chest so you can breathe. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come down. Bring your right knee into your right shoulder. Hug it in and extend the left leg nice and long. Using your left hand, you're going to guide your right knee across your body. The right arm can come out to the right. Gaze to the right. Try to keep the right shoulder on the mat. Hollow out the belly. Breathe. Come back to center. We'll switch that out. Extend the right leg long. Hug the left knee into the left shoulder for just a moment here. Using the right hand, guide the left knee across the body. Left arm is out to the side, gaze to the left. Pull that belly in as you twist. Try to keep the left shoulder down. Breathe. Coming back to center. Bring both knees in. Hug your legs in, however that works for you, and just sort of move your hips around. You can go side to side. You can make figure eights. You can make circles. Whatever feels good to your low back right now. And then extend your heels to the ceiling. Arms are by your side. And try to get your heels to be over your hips versus over your stomach. So really try to think about getting that tailbone down on the mat. We'll just hang out here for a moment, allowing the fluids to gently make their way back to the core, and you're breathing here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, slowly lower those heels to the mat. Nice and slow, belly tight. Try to control it. When your heels hit the mat, open your feet at least the width of your mat. You're at home, you probably have lots of space. Maybe even open the legs wider. Let your toes, knees, and hips sort of open out. Now roll your shoulders down your back, lift that heart, and turn your palms to the ceiling. Find a comfortable position. Maybe move the head a few times. And then you just get still. Close your eyes, allowing the eyeballs to gently nestle back into the sockets. Relax the forehead, relax the jaw. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth. The shoulders and the hips are really starting to melt into the mat as you begin to let go. The arms and the legs are heavy. Toes and fingers are light. All good yoga classes end with a moment or two of meditation. It's really the most important part that we do in class. Everything is to get us to this point where we can let go for a moment, where we can find peace. Don't miss it. Don't think, don't fidget. Take one more deep breath in. Sigh it out. Shavasana. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out. It is truly my honor and privilege to guide your practice. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.